And what happens to those who don't go with the program? What happens to those that still cling to the red, white, and blue?
I think it's pretty obvious. The people who still cling to the red, white, and blue, if you mean the people who still have faith in the government.
Yeah, the people who were raised by old-fashioned people. My parents were born in the 20s, and everything was go to work and pay your taxes and be a good citizen and abide by the law the best that you can, do what you have to do. But the baseball, American cherry pie and all that, the American way of life. What happens to those people who still believe in that, in the red, white, and blue?
I would be very, I'd be very careful with those kinds of people, because if you take a look at how it was in Germany, the same people that they were used to that same kind, not exactly the same, but that same ideal.
Traditional,
that ideal of what Germany was. They either didn't care when somebody was being taken away by the government or killed, or most of the time they became so patriotic because the government fed their egoism that they became Nazis. So you have to be very afraid of these people, because you're going to start seeing people who are so fanatical about the government that they're going to probably either join the government as agents or something, or God knows, I wouldn't know what to tell you. And if they did, try to say they did try to change or anything like that, more than likely they'd disappear and you'd never see them again.
Well, Galan, I think that your information is wonderful, and I want to thank you for coming on. Our time is up, and I'd like to bring you back on, because you have a lot of information and a lot of ideas, and it's nice to hear different perspectives, so I would really love it if you could come back on the show.
Oh, sure. I'll come back.
Oh, that'd be great.
Whatever you want.
Is there anything you'd like to add before we go?
The only thing that I'd like to add before we go is that there's only one solution to this problem, because, like I said, this government's always been a police state. The only thing is that now it's becoming a fascist police state. But, hold on. Sí, espérate. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
The only way that anything is really going to change is by getting rid of the government and starting by scratch, because these people, they may say that they're going to change, but look at how many times in history they've said they were sorry for doing something and said that they were going to change, and they never have. They've just gotten worse. I mean, you have to view it like a relationship between a woman married to an abusive husband. The abusive husband beats the crap out of her all the time and then says that he's going to change, but he never does. And that's a relationship that the people in this country have with the U.S. government. And after being beaten and beaten and beaten, only one of two things can come out of it. Either the wife will get smart and she'll leave the bastard and she'll do whatever she can to protect herself, even if it means having to kill him or resort to any other kind of thing, or she'll just get beaten to death because she lets him do whatever he wants. So that's basically the choice that people here are left with. Either you're going to get killed because, you're not with the program, you're not with a little blueprint that they've set out for us, or you're going to do something to save yourself and you're going to fight back. And sadly, the only way that's going to happen is by organized resistance and just overthrowing the government. That's the only choice we have left. That has been the only choice that we've had for years, but people are so innocent and naive, they think that the elections matter and everything, but the elections don't matter, because the truth is it doesn't matter if you vote or not. It was already chosen who was going to be president before we showed up there, because the elites are the ones in control. So that's a message I leave for everyone. Wise up, learn as much as you can, and start forming your own groups, and just prepare, because things are going to get worse. They're not going to get better.
Well, I thank you, Galan, for coming on. Very informative, and I'll have you back in a couple of months, and we'll talk some more. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sure. Bye.
China's consistent use of excessive military force to stifle dissent has resulted in widespread human rights abuses, including multiple cases of arbitrary arrest, political imprisonment, torture and execution. Human rights groups have documented at least 60 deaths of peaceful demonstrators since 1987, and there is thought to be many, many more. In Tibet, human rights groups have confirmed by name over 700 political prisoners, although there are likely to be hundreds more whose names are not confirmed. Many are detained without charge or trial for up to 4 years through administrative regulations entitled Re-Education Through Labour. China is a major player on the international economic scene, and many Western businesses have their interests over there. They make vast profits out of cheap sweatshop labour. China's human rights record is abysmal. This regime is both oppressive, totalitarian, and they don't give a damn about the freedom of the individual or the freedom of speech. In recent weeks, the oppressive Chinese regime have dealt a vile blow to freedoms in Tibet. Monks have been killed, innocent people have died. Most Western governments are just paying lip service against these abuses. They are not going to do a thing, for they have too many business interests there. They make too much profit out of sweatshop labour. So it's up to us. Go to the Edge's action page at theedgeam.com and make a difference. We are running 3 actions on this oppressive regime in China. That's the edgeam.com/edgeaction. Do you think you can make a difference in a world where there is so much injustice? Does this injustice upset you? Does it make you feel powerless, overwhelmed? I mean, what can one person do? Take action from the comfort of your chair. Make a difference with the new Edge Action area of the Edge AM's website. Make sure you make a difference by going to theedgeam.com/edgeaction. That's theedgeam.com/edgeaction. You can make a difference. The Edge radio broadcast is looking for voluntary international correspondents and interviewers. Are you able to talk to someone objectively? Can you set aside your beliefs and allow others to express theirs? Can you ask searching questions whilst remaining impartial? Would you like to be in the forefront of the exploration into the unexplained, politics, religion, environment and health? Do you want to be part of the Edge broadcast search for truth? Most importantly, can you smile and remain friendly even if your belief system comes into question? If you have answered yes to the above, we would like to hear from you. Previous journalistic or broadcast experience is not required, but a deep interest in unmasking the shroud of lies is essential. As a volunteer correspondent, you will become an important member of the Edge radio broadcast staff. More information can be found on the Edge's homepage. Just look for the link "We are looking for Edge correspondents" just under the main media player at www.theedgeam.com. Please note that the role of correspondent is not guaranteed, and it also depends on your willingness to communicate with a wide variety of people who have varied experiences and beliefs, which may not be similar to your own experiences and beliefs. As a correspondent, you will be an essential element in the Edge broadcast search for truth. Just click "We are looking for Edge correspondents" just under the main media player on the Edge's homepage at www.theedgeam.com.
Do you feel like I do? Are you getting a feeling the Edge radio broadcast is growing? Well, if so, you're right. The Edge program has been hitting